Prepare your defenses for some shockingly high-grade fish. Like Adrad, I mean, obviously. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today, we are jumping into 3v3 once again, and I know it's everyone's least favorite GAC mode, but there's some interesting teams here, folks. Sortie is back. The fish is still back. There's a lot of teams that are back. Honestly, there actually are a lot of teams, and we need to have a decent defense. We need to have a decent offense as well, which is why, folks, you should go watch the offensive teams video that is being released at the exact same time as this. I know that most of you only watch this video so that you can see the defensive teams that I suggest. However, I do talk about offensive teams in my offensive teams video, as you might imagine, and I think that there's some good information there that you would benefit from. I hope you do, anyways, and I do make other quotes about sushi. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it without being demonetized. Probably I can say it, but the sushi song, let's just say that. Alright, folks, huge shout out to my patrons, by the way. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I truly couldn't do this without you. Thank you, guys. Truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And from the top of my heart, for that matter. And folks, if you want to support this channel for free, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Can we mount the algorithm yet? Are we there yet? Let's get to the actual video, shall we? Let's talk about, whoa, that's not the right video. Or the right anything. Whoa, okay, now we're in the game. We're cooking. We're cooking here. So we've got Jabba on defense, folks. And Chrysanthemum is a mercenary. So let's see what we can turn into that. Like, I think you get extra stuns with Chrysanthemum, frankly, if you do the stun one. I think that's probably your best bet, is to do the stun cron, and then you can do like the tank revive, or there's a few different. You can do the special, and when people do specials, they gain turn meter stuff. You could do some pretty cool stuff with this team, I think. The question is it good enough to not get deleted by Nice Sisters consistently by the people who are doing it? If you're not in a place in the game right now where you can kill, that you get killed by people using Nice Sisters against Jabba, then I guess don't worry about it so much. But Jabba tends to be a pretty nice defensive team that people trip up on without any unforced errors. Like, they just they're like, I volunteer as tribute to get deleted by Jabba sometimes, and Jabba's like, dude, I have a hungry Rancor. That's kind of some good synergy, so let's do that more often. Now we've got Lord Vader. Should he be back on offense or on defense again? Last season I put him on offense, and it was actually really nice because we could use Maul to go hang out with Gar and friends and pretend like they were actually going to do something. In fact, they just rode the pine a lot, but Lord Vader ended up killing a lot of the Imperial Remnant teams and stuff, and it was fun. We finally had a use for Lord Vader. Is he just gonna get deleted if he's on defense by Bo-Katan again? That's a very real possibility, folks, and we may need to. I mean, I've been telling people, come watch me on Twitch, because we're going to be switching our offenses and defenses around based off of the data. We just don't know yet, because Maul does have a new datacron that makes it look like he might end up being able to contribute to the ultimate destruction and demolition of that Bo-Katan team this season, just because he revives once he's killed, and I don't know if Bo-Katan teams have it in them to kill him 2 times in a row and also kill Thrawn and prevent Lord Vader from just ramping up and killing him. Maybe they can, I'm not sure, but I do know that we should try him on defense for a little bit, and maybe it'll pan out. It might pan out. Whatever that even really means. Where did that come from? Panning out? Is that like a gold panning term? Is it something about like Peter Pan? Like you're showing how he succeeds, and so you're panning out too? Nice. Either way, let's stop caring about that and start caring more about Leia on defense. you can put the tank revive cron from the previous set on this team, and it suddenly becomes a really obnoxious thing for anything that's off meta. Like, you can still kill it with Supreme Leader Kylo, or maybe say the Eternal Emperor, something like that, but there's not going to be nearly as many off-meta counters for Leia if you put tank revive cron from set 17 on her, and that's what I plan on doing. Just put the tank revive on it and call it good. Maybe it'll be good. You just don't know, folks. Rey, throw Cal on here, and then you have a full Ufu team. I suppose you could put one of those Ufu crons on there, even though you don't get a good level 3 with it, because they're all dark side. This is a pretty good Ufu team, and if you get a good Ufu cron for them, the sky's the limit, folks. Literally, it's Star Wars. There are ships in the game. The sky isn't even the limit, to be honest. The stars aren't even the limit. That we haven't found the limit. You couldn't handle the limit if I told you about it. Queen Amidala and her buddies are here. I suppose we can use the Master Qui-Gon level 17 cron. Reluctantly, the support cron was so much better, and the bespoke one for Padawan Obi-Wan was even better if we could afford it, which I did buy that one. Didn't get any of the other ones, but that one was cool while it lasted. So let's just reminisce about how good that team used to be. Now, we do have a couple splits, so Pow really wants to have some kind of use, and I think last season I was putting him with Leia, which isn't a terrible place because he's giving him a bunch of health and all that stuff. I want to try putting him with Mothra this season, and we'll see. Maybe it's just a very poor choice. I'm not sure. But then we also have Saw, and we could put Lotion with him, and Kyle Katarn. Or who knows, man. Baze, or we probably don't need a tank. We could do Churret to keep everyone alive. I don't really know, but these are the comps that I would kind of like to try initially. We'll just put them on defense and see if they ever get holds ever again. They might not. I hope they do though. Seems pretty good. Lotion is very good with his Datacron. He's going to be a fairly obnoxious person to remove, especially with a Saw squad. I think he's better with Saw in 3s and Mon Mothma in 5s. That's my impression. And the Paukaron is really good in 5s, less good in 3s. So we'll throw him on defense and let our opponents worry about him. Now, Sortie, I don't know if this is the best version of her team. You'd really need her Datacron for this to work. If you don't have her Datacron, then don't even friggin' bother, guys. But the thing is, if you do end up putting it on defense, this is in my opinion one of the most obnoxious versions, because if you can't stun General Grievous with Bad Batch, because eventually he's just going to dispel everything that happens to him. And whether or not, I think this might be the comp we used to use back in the day. This team, at the very least, is going to be a flash in the pan, in the sense that people won't expect how strong this team is going to end up being. And you're going to get a lot of holds on defense with it, at least initially, and then eventually maybe it won't be good. But Grievous isn't good in 3v3 anyway, so let's try putting it on defense and just see what our opponents have to say for themselves. Last season, the toughest version of an Eth Koth team was with General Skywalker. Of course, Eth recently got a big nerf, so I don't know if he's going to end up being any good on defense, if this team is going to end up being any good, but we can try. We can trust in hope. Trust and hope. Trust and obey. This team might really suck, but last season it was really strong on defense. I don't see any reason why we should abandon it quite yet until we see how well it does post Eth Koth Datacron nerf. CLS, we talked about this on the offensive teams video. This team could be good on offense, could be good on defense. There's one Ufu, and otherwise all the current Datacron sets just kind of miss it by a small margin. It's like, okay, there's no Jedis, there's no Old Republic, there's no Rogue One. It's all of the different things. There's one Ufu who would barely make use of the Datacron that we put on it. So you can put it on defense and hope your opponent doesn't find some way to delete you with Imperial Troopers or something. Do what you want with that one, guys. Okay, so if you get the Mara Jade Ufu Kron, she's the only Ufu on the team, but she does some cool stuff with Palpy and Savage, and she's going to be ramping up really quickly because of her Hand of the Emperor thing. Every time a non-Palpatine character takes a turn, she's going to gain a stack, and so let's put Savage with them, guys. This is a fairly obnoxious team. It's not going to be unbeatable, but Savage is just obnoxious in the first place, and yeah, we'll just see, guys. I feel so uncomfortable, frankly, taking Palpy and Mara off of the Starkiller squad, but I think it's kind of warranted with this current Starkiller Kron. I think Vader ends up being better for Starkiller in this instance. So we'll see. Qui-Gon, I guess, just as always, put him with Anakin and Ki-Adi-Mundi. Put a stun level 6 from set 17 on them. They should be pretty good still. The Zori team, we might just want to put it on offense, honestly, guys. There's just no specific Datacron that's going to support these guys, but they do some cool stuff still, just because Zori with a resistance team is always just going to be really strong. So I'm putting them on defense for now. We have Night Sisters. I don't, you can see I'm what, 110 shards short. So what how many shards are we averaging right now? A little less than 10 per day if we just do the 3 Cantina refreshes. I'm guessing I won't have the Great Mothers until week 3, maybe week 2 of this GAC season. Week 2, that would be quite the stretch. Probably week 3. So, anyways, this is probably the best version of the team, is what I think. Putting more relics on Night Sister Spirit seems really nice, in fact, because Night Sister Spirit is one of the very few characters in the game right now to, here, let's zoom out a little bit, to just totally ignore defense. As long as she has foresight, she completely, her offense and her attacks ignore armor, which they're physical damage, which is what armor would block. And she ends up one-shotting things a disturbing number of times. She's really strong, especially with this particular build. Put them on defense, and good things will happen. I think you want to use the Morgan level 9, is what my guess is. So enjoy doing that, I suppose. I'm interested to see how this is all going to pan out. I don't even think I've modded the Great Mothers. No, I haven't. So, stay tuned for that team. That'll make its debut on defense soon for me. We'll have Tuskens, because why the heck not, guys? Tuskens keep holding at a crazy rate in 3s, because people don't know how to beat them still. Or maybe they do, but they don't want to spare the teams to do it. So, throw them on defense, forget about them, and the good things will happen, folks. I guarantee it. I guess there's some level of argument to be had of using the Tusken Chieftain Omicron instead. I'm not saying you should do this, but if you did, then you could use Boba, Scion of Jango, on the team as a Tusken. But you'd also have the Mercenary tag, so you could use the Mercenary Kron with that team and make it even stronger. I'm guessing we're going to see some interesting builds there as well, though I don't have the Omicron, and I don't really advise applying an Omicron for one specific Datacron set, because it's all going to go away in 4 months, and you can't spare Datacrons for that level, for that small volume of use. Now, I don't know if this is the best version of Enoch and company. These are the guys that I had left over. And I think probably you want a Night Trooper on this team if you really want to have people take this team seriously. But I also think that this team can hold at a pretty decent rate. And people are surprised at how impossible it is to take it out. Of course, you also need to have relict guys, and I don't think I'm actually going to have this team ready by the end of 3s, but I'm just showing you. This is what I probably will run. Let's see, we have frogs, probably use Tarpals here, though I think we could go back to using the shield gun, the phalanx. The failings, of course, that means that you're not going to have much offense. The team's not going to be able to do that much. I think if you want this team to be a true threat, you have to take the risk that Tarple's just going to start deleting people. And in that case, this is the build that you want. Of course, we don't have the current, or the old Datacron set that boosts Tarple's crit damage based off of what happens with your support characters, and so that's all. It's all in flux, folks. But I think putting them on defense for now, and maybe they just get deleted. Maybe they're not a good team in 3s anymore. I'm not sure. It seems like this team should still be able to take out some stuff, though I think Treya probably does beat them pretty easily. We'll have to see. Let's see. We have this other Imperial Remnant team. Yes, the high-grade fish will delete this team pretty well, but I don't know what else. A lot of people are going to be putting Adrad on defense, I think, folks. And so if that's the case, then this team is going to end up being decent, at least, using the Moff Gideon Kron. Is it going to be the best? I don't know. You could put Night Trooper with the Enoch squad if you really wanted to. And then you could throw Stormtrooper on here, or Scout Trooper, I suppose. This is a fairly uninspired team on defense, folks, because Adrad kills it so easily. But if Adrad's going to be on defense a lot, then I think the stock on this team rises considerably. It does a lot of good things on offense and defense, and I don't think people understand the mechanics for Dark Trooper Moff Gideon yet, and people still, in a world where tons of the Datacrons that are coming out right now in our current sets have an enormous amount of turn meter gain, the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team is going to be fairly strong on defense, just because his mechanics are going to react to all that turn meter gained by his opponents, and it's pretty good. It's good for his team usually. Okay, we have Trench. He's not as good as he used to be. He doesn't have the Watt Kron. He doesn't have the support Kron. Is it going to be good on defense? Is it going to get holds? It still will get some holds, because some people don't understand how it works. I will say that this is also, okay, I don't know what else to take kind of build. Like, this is why it's at the bottom. It's not the very best version of any teams that you're going to be placing, and it'll probably be the first team to get cut from what if I had to add another team to the roster. But it is going to be it's decent, guys. It doesn't totally suck. And then finally, if you have the Balin team, I guess just put Shin and Merrick with him and call it good. I don't have Balin. I don't even have a 5-star Shin or Merrick, so I guess congratulations to those of you who do. I won't have Balin for another 3 months, but I do have a Shin Datacron that I'm going to be ready to use in 3 months once I finally do unlock Balin, if GAC is still going on at that point. I mean, it'll be like 5v5 when that happens, if that. But anyways, that's it, folks. That's the only run these teams. Don't run any other teams on defense, obviously, because I'm the sole arbiter of truth, and I know all the teams and all the inner workings of everyone's mind. And obviously, this is what you should do, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails, and I hope you do too. Have a great week, folks.